Okay, I have a little extra time. So I'm recording videos back to back. I want to share with you guys, I'm pretty sure I wore this one too. God, I can't remember. I want to say that I did, and I cannot remember. Pretty sure that I did. So I want to finish out polishes that I wore in the fall season. I already did a video. This one is going to include a few metallics and then a couple other colors that I think they actually go really well for winter. So I'm gonna get started. I also wore in the fall Sea Gurl from ORLY, which is a silver metallic. It has a bit of golden tone to it, like a slight bronze that almost makes it look like it has a little hint of green. At least on my nails it pulls green, and it's not green, it's silver, but it has like a green undertone. I don't know if you guys have this experience where you love a polish so much and you remember it looking so good and you're afraid to put it on because you're afraid that you're not gonna love it as much. That's every time I wear this polish is my experience. Same thing goes for Two Fingered Salute from Vonderland, which I've mentioned before is my favorite, one of my favorite polishes ever, and so is this one. And my experience was no different than before. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's such a beautiful color. I took a picture in my dining, my kitchen area. Lighting wasn't the best, but I was able to capture a picture. It's just as beautiful as I remember it. Good formula. It takes 2 coats to get opaque. So that's Sea Gurl from ORLY. I wore this one, which is kind of a darkened, almost Bordeaux type of color. This is called Ravishing Darling. It's really pretty. It's just not my favorite out of my darker reds. So I want to try it on the toes to see how I feel about it. I usually do love colors like this. Formula wise, it's a slight, like most jellies, most reds, they have a little bit of jelly quality. I'm trying to get in an area where my camera doesn't focus on my bed. I tried recording a video and it was focused on my bed the entire time and I was yapping away, not really paying attention. So Bordeaux, 2 to 3 coats to get opaque on the nails. This one's from China Glaze, and this one did have the old brush. So, you know, I had to be a little careful with my application because it's still a red, and reds are notoriously known for staining the cuticle around the nail, and cleanup is nearly impossible. It just makes it a little bit harder. I tend to go in whenever I do stain my nails. I go in with once I do my cleanup, I go in with a fine point tip Q-tip and then dip it in acetone and also add a little bit of cuticle remover from Blue Cross to remove any staining on the skin around the nail, and that usually works for me. But it was a really beautiful, deep, rich red color. It was like a blood, like a dry blood type of red. It was so pretty. I also wore Licorice from SinfulColors, and this is almost like a blackened, murky type of green. It has this golden tone running throughout. And this one dries matte. It is part of the Candy Johnson matte collection. So it's relatively old. Takes a couple coats to get opaque. It does dry very quickly, so I do work fast, but it's not one of those matte polishes where you don't have time to apply. You have ample time. And although it looks really beautiful mattified, I much prefer it with a glossy top coat because there's these little shimmers running throughout that just sparkle a little extra, almost like little red tones, and when the sun is directly hitting the nails, and it's so beautiful. So that's Licorice from SinfulColors. A lot of SinfulColors here because I also wore this one. Beautiful New Obsession. I think this one kind of reminds me of a polish from OPI. And it's, I don't know, in my throat. Oh my god, what's going on? It came out in a San Francisco collection, and it's called, I think it's called Haven't the Foggiest. I think I saw that one recently at Transdesign. Transdesign currently had a bunch of old, like, polishes from much older collections, and I was highly tempted in picking that one up, but it looks relatively similar to this one, which is from SinfulColors. This is part of the Sinful Shine line, and this is an amazing, amazing smoky silver. There's a hair, like a smokiness to this one. And it's called Diamond in the Raw. And it's so good, guys. I love it just as much as I do Sea Gurl. Sea Gurl has a little bit more warmth in it. I don't know if the camera will capture it, because there's these fine, almost golden bronze little shimmers running throughout in a Sea Gurl, to where this one is not. It's silver, but it has this almost blackened look to it. Slightly, it still looks silver on the nails, but it's just slightly more smoky, and the particles are not extremely fine. This is a shimmer, but then it seems to have a little bit of a larger particle scattered throughout, so it makes it a little bit more dimensional on the nails. So beautiful. I really love that one. And then another metallic from Orly. This is called Supernova, and this is a rose gold, slightly rose gold metallic. Kind of similar to Diamond in the Raw, where there's a finer particles, right? And then there's scattered larger particles, which again adds a little bit more dimension. This is so beautiful, guys, like beyond beautiful. 2 coats to get opaque. Because the particles are large enough with these two, you don't get any streaks, like brush strokes on the nails. You don't have to be overtly like careful in application, which I love. And it's just amazing. On its own, it looks great. I did, though, want to top it over with a pink topper. And this one I've used quite a few times, which tells me that I love it. I love it so much. This one is from Koke, and it's called Sparkler Send Off. And this has micro strong yellow gold shimmer, and it has larger pink metallic glitters. They're not quite rose gold. So because the tones of this topper are different from Supernova, they are visible on the nails. Now the yellow gold on the nails is not overly visible, but you can capture the yellow gold shimmer in some lights, and then you capture the metallic pink glitters over top of Supernova, and it just looked so beautiful. Very festive, work appropriate, I would say, because it is this polish is metallic, but it's not a very strong color. It's almost neutral-esque, I guess I can say. So if you want like a holiday-ish type of polish, I know we're at the beginning of the year, but a holiday-ish type of polish, but you want it to be a little bit more subtle for maybe a professional work environment, I think this one's a really good one. It's just so beautiful. It's not strong, but yet still noticeable on the nails because it is metallic-ish, and so it really popped against my skin tone. So I really love it. I highly recommend it, and this is a great one to keep for the winter time as well. I'm actually putting these two up on my winter rack, so that's those two. And then the last one is this manicure. I wore Viking twice in the fall season, so this is one of my favorite dark purples. It is very dark. Let me see if I can brighten. No, that's as bright as it goes. It is a dark purple, but it's not so blackened that it looks black on the nails. It always looks purple, and I've mentioned this. I mentioned this in my fall picks favorites, like old school favorites last year, and it's always been a favorite for many years. This is a bottle that I finished bottles, or this is a polish that I finished bottles of and repurchase. Every time I run out of it, I just go out and purchase it again. I think it's just because it's been so consistent every single time. I've never found a need to really go out and look for another dark purple like this one, where it looks very grape-like. It's just so pretty. Awesome formula. 2 coats. Right now I think it's taking maybe 1 coat because I am, my bottle is halfway used. And I did add an iridescent topper. I can't remember off the top of my head what it was, but I think it's this one because the iridescent topper that I added has a fine iridescent shimmers, but then chunkier iridescent shimmers, and I think it's this one, which is from OPI. This is called All the Twitter in Glitter, and this is a topper, so it has micro shimmer and chunkier iridescent glitter. So really pretty. Just kind of applied it from the cuticle, and I had a little gradient coming down the nail. that's where I'm gonna close this one off. I have some Christmas manicures to talk about in my next video, so I thought I would make a separate video on that so this video doesn't become super long, and also so I can keep the, you know, the holiday manicures all in one video instead of like scattered throughout and stuff like that. I have a lot of holiday manicures. So that is it for this one. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what your favorites were, what your favorite polishes were from the fall season. I know we are in the winter, but let me know what you guys really enjoyed wearing. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.